Let's talk about making mod packs. I see a lot of people still sharing profile codes from R2ModMan and the Thunderstore mod manager. And frankly, it doesn't need to happen anymore. Anyone can make a mod pack. It's so simple, and it doesn't really even require you to download much new software or hardly anything at all. And we're gonna walk you through it right now, step by step, from start to finish. Your mod pack right now. Let's go. So let's say you have a list of mods. You've downloaded a whole bunch of mods from R2ModMan. You're playing with your friends, or you're playing by yourself, or you're gonna start playing with your friends, and you're like, all right, we've all gotta have the same mods, but there's so many and they update so infrequently and at different times. How do I get everybody on the same page? A mod pack. But how do I get this list of mods into the mod pack? Well, you're gonna need a couple simple things. One of which is a new zip file. A zip file is basically what you're downloading when you're downloading a mod pack. It's the container, basically, for all the files that might be in that pack. If you don't already have the zip software on your computer, which I don't know why you wouldn't, Express Zip. Just download the free version, install it, and you're done. Okay? But really, all you need to do if you don't want to do any of those things is just take an existing mod pack. Just click the manual download button right there. It's going to download the zip file. Okay, they're all zip files. And if you have the software installed, it's just gonna pop it open right away. Otherwise, you can just go to your downloads, okay? And there it is. You would open it up and it's gonna show you what is inside the zip file. It's usually a folder. Sometimes there's no folders, it's just 3 files, okay? So this is basically your box that you're gonna put in the instructions for Thunderstore to grab the mods you want and have the client, whoever downloads your mod pack, download onto R2ModMan. It's just instructions, that's all it is. But how do I give it those instructions, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked. First thing you're gonna wanna do is to sign in. That's the way you upload to the Thunderstore, and you can do that these 3 ways: Discord, GitHub, or Overwolf. I'm with GitHub, so I just choose that, and there we go. Then this little upload button appears over here. You click that and you're gonna come here, upload package. Where's our package? It's the zip file. But what do I put in the zip file? Is it all the same stuff as here? Well, kind of. Right here it says, looking for package format documentation? Find it here. Oh, let's click on that. A valid package is a zip file containing the following files. You need an icon. Icon is exactly what you think it is. It's this square picture that all mods have. That's all you need. And as for an icon, that's what it is. It has to be this exact resolution. It can be anything you want. Doesn't really matter. But I've got a picture off the internet. How do I get that in that exact resolution? Use some sort of basic image editor. Windows has one. Hell, you could use Windows Paint. And there's Windows Paint. Resize, pixels, 256 by 256. You could just take a text thing and just say, my first mod. You're gonna save that in whatever software you're gonna edit that with as a PNG. A lot of times it'll just give you this option by default. It does here. So we would just rename this icon. Make sure you know where you're saving it. And boom, that's one thing done. README.md. You can just make this file or just borrow it from another mod pack. You could just take a new text document and change the file extension to MD. It's gonna say, do you want to change it? You're gonna say yeah. So now you have this file. What do you put in it? Well, really you don't have to put anything in it, but it's gotta be there in the zip file, no matter what. So there's 2 things. We've got an icon and we've got our README, and it has to be called README. We go back to the instructions, README.md, okay? So we would rename this README.md. Done. You can include the change log. That basically just puts any of the changes automatically listed at the bottom of the Thunderstore page. So if you go to a mod, you don't need to do it. You can just include it in the README file, but it just makes a secondary little tab here at the bottom that just breaks down the patch notes as you would include them. But enough about the changelog. It's not required and you don't need to put it in the mod pack. The last thing on the list is the manifest, and this is kind of the most important because this is instructing the Thunderstore to download the mods that you have set. How do we do that? I'll show you right now. We scroll down you can see there's an example manifest right there. The best way to edit this confusing looking lines of code is by using something called Visual Studio Code. It's free, it's from Microsoft. You go right here to code.visualstudio.com/download, or just type in Visual Studio Download in Google. Just download it. It's free. It'll get you all set up. You'll pop it open, it'll look like this. And you're gonna go back to your page here. You're just gonna copy this, pop that window back open. I'm gonna make a new text file, just paste it right in there. So here we've got the beginnings of our manifest. What are we gonna call our mod pack? We're gonna call it My First Mod Pack. And you can have it be whatever version number you want, but most people start with 1.0.0. If you have a website, you put in your website here, and this is the description, and you could say this is my first mod pack ever, bitches. Now for the most important part, the dependencies. What's a dependency? Well, it means that this mod pack depends on other mods being downloaded for it to work right. So if we go to R2ModMan, here's our list of mods. We want to get these mods into this thing. If you go to any mod page, sure, here's the dependency string. You could go to each one individually, copy them individually. That would take a pretty long time. Is there a faster way? Yes, there is. Settings. You're gonna go to Show Dependency Strings. Here we have all of the dependency strings for every single mod in our R2ModMan profile. You're just gonna Control-C, that's copy, and you're gonna go to Visual Studio, and you're just gonna paste them right over top of this, paste them. But weren't there quotes at the beginning and at the end and some commas? Like, how do I do all that stuff? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Put your cursor here, Shift-Alt, hold it down. Drag this all the way down. Now, you've got a whole bunch of cursors. Hit the quote button, you can select it all, go to Selection, Add Cursor to Line Ends. And we're gonna go quote and then comma. So now every single one of these has a quote around it and a comma at the end. And you can see that it's correct because it's this color. At the very end, your last mod needs no comma. So you do the whole thing and then you just delete that one comma at the end. That kind of ends this line, that ends the line there. And then it goes right to this bracket. And that just tells it it's done. That's the last mod. How do we make sure that this is right? Well, you could just try uploading it, or you could go to the manifest validator. So if we select all of this, Control-A, delete, we'll go back to our manifest, Control-A, Control-C, Control-V. When you upload anything to the Thunderstore, you're gonna need to make a team. So you would just call it whatever you want to call it, basically, as long as it's appropriate. And then once you select your team, it'll validate the manifest stuff that you've put in there. And if something's wrong, like if I had left that comma in, unable to parse JSON, and it'll tell you the line and the column. And if you go back to your Visual Studio Code, you can see that, what did it say? Oh, line 74, column 5. Okay, let's see about that. Line 74. Okay, well, nothing there, but it's this that it's looking for. So you can kind of like figure out kind of where the issues might be. So this is all fine. We've made our name, we got our version number, we've got the website if we need it, we've got the description, and we've got our list of dependencies. It's all correct. We would save as, and I'm putting this all on the desktop, so it's save as manifest.json. Okay, so if we go back to our desktop, we've got our manifest, we've got our README, and we've got our icon. We've got everything that is required to make our mod pack. We just need our zip file. So like I said, you could download somebody else's zip file, or you could just make a new one. So new, and let's put it on the desktop. And you can call this whatever you want. My first mod, it's awesome. And we're gonna drag these three things in. Now, if we try to upload this, it will upload it. And I don't really feel like having that uploaded to the Thunderstore, so I'm not gonna do that. But the process is, go to upload, select your team, select the game, community, and then the categories. When you're putting in the categories for your mod pack, first of all, label it as a mod pack, and then include other tags, because tags are important. Don't just put every tag, that's stupid. If your mod pack has to do with more building than enemies, or maybe it has a little bit of both. Maybe you've got some new weapons in there because it's, you know, for your server. You know, don't put them all in. You know, if it doesn't have vehicles or new mounts or it doesn't have NPCs, don't put those in. And server-side or client-side. So these mod packs are for clients. If you have server-side stuff, like I have a server-side pack and it's more just the files that would go on the server, that's when you would put something like server-side. So normally I would just put client-side for any of my mod packs. And then you would just drag the zip file. So here's my first mod pack. This is what we just made. We put those files in there. I'm gonna drag it in here. I'm not gonna do it because if it does it, it's gonna upload it. And I don't really wanna do that right now because there's really nothing in there. But you would do that and it would fill up the bar at the bottom. And if there was an error, it would tell you. But again, if you go back to your manifest validating tool, you know if it's valid or not. One thing I will say though, and this is the crux of uploading mods or mod packs, once it's uploaded, you can't really just make it disappear. It's kind of there. So you would need to upload it again to kind of make any changes. Like if you misspelled something in your README or maybe you put the wrong version of a mod pack in, sorry, you got to re-upload the whole thing, different version. So in terms of updating your mod packs, once you make changes, like let's say I'm here at the Thunderstore and I've got a mod to update, right? So what I would normally do is I would take this is what's getting updated, right? And I would go into my README file and I would say, you know, 1.0.1 mods updated, and then I would just paste that. You know, because that way I know that when I'm updating this and then kind of changing the list, the manifest to say, okay, this mod, you know, the mod pack's been updated because this mod is updated. So I would do that, download it, and then I would go to show dependency strings. And a lot of times I'll either just copy and paste it. You know, if there's like 10 mods, I'll just start the whole process over. But if there's just that one mod, I would just take this, go back to my manifest, I'd find auto store. I mean, you could just literally just change it one number. It's, you know, once you identify the mods that you're updating, but if there's a lot of them, you know, I usually just Control C, you know, I'll just copy everything all over again. I'll take all of this again, copy it, and then do the process over again. That way it ensures consistency. You know what the client is getting is correct. So just one final thing, we talked about how to update your mod pack to make sure that your players are getting the right mods and the same mods. Same thing for your server. Obviously, if you are playing on a server and you update a mod locally, that mod needs to be updated on your server as well. I've already done plenty of videos on how to update your mods on servers, how to, you know, upload mods to your servers. So go check those videos out. That's basically it. So we've walked through from the very beginning to uploading your mod pack to the Thunderstore. It should be pretty clear to everybody now how to do it themselves. Stop sharing profile codes. Just make your own mod pack. It's way easier for your players and it'll give you some experience doing something a little bit different, even if it's a little bit intimidating at first. Hopefully this video has broken it down to something simple that anybody can understand. That about wraps up this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Feel free to check out my other videos covering all sorts of Valheim mod stuff. I'm Stone Prophet. See you in the next one.